Don't click buy 3 true Craigslist horror stories. Story number 1. The book with a hidden agenda at Craigslist bargain. Ethan, a struggling writer, felt a familiar pang of emptiness staring at his blank computer screen. Inspiration was on vacation, and his deadline loomed like a thundercloud. A quick Craigslist search for rare books might spark something, he thought. One listing stood out. First edition grimoire unveiling the arcane. The price was dirt cheap, and the seller, a cult collector 52, claimed the book was in pristine condition, perfect for the curious mind. Curiosity, Ethan thought, was precisely what he needed. An email exchange followed. A cult collector 52 arranged a meeting at a dusty bookstore tucked away in a forgotten corner of the city. The atmosphere inside was heavy with the aroma of old paper and the hushed whispers of forgotten lore. A hunched figure emerged from behind a towering stack of books, his eyes glinting with an unsettling intensity. "Ah, the grimoire," he rasped, handing Ethan a leather-bound book that felt strangely warm in his hands. "It's been waiting for you." Ethan returned home, the grimoire a beacon of the unknown on his desk. Its faded pages spoke of forgotten rituals and arcane symbols. Skeptical but intrigued, Ethan spent hours delving into its secrets, a strange sense of compulsion drawing him in. Days bled into nights as Ethan devoured the grimoire's content. His writing flowed effortlessly, fueled by a dark inspiration he couldn't explain. The stories he crafted were dark and disturbing, filled with unsettling imagery. His characters felt eerily real, their voices echoing with a chilling familiarity. One particularly vivid dream left Ethan shaken. He dreamt of performing a ritual from the book, chanting words he barely understood. As he chanted, the room grew cold, and shadows danced on the walls. A disembodied voice rasped in his ear, promising power in exchange for something more. Ethan woke in a cold sweat, the grimoire lying open beside him, a page marked with a single, ominous drop of crimson liquid. Fear gnawed at him, but the book's dark allure remained. Was his newfound inspiration a gift or a curse in disguise? With trembling hands, Ethan closed the grimoire, the leather binding feeling unnaturally cold. He knew he had a choice to make. Continue down this dark path, or relinquish the power he'd gained. The decision, like the inscription on the first page of the book, remained shrouded in mystery. Power comes with a price. Story number 2. The used camera with a ghostly lens, a Craigslist purchase gone wrong. The abandoned amusement park loomed in the distance, a skeletal silhouette against the twilight sky. Maya, a budding photographer, had seen the pictures online. Haunting yet beautiful. The perfect subject for her photography project. But there was a catch. The park was strictly off-limits, trespassers subject to heavy fines. Craigslist offered a solution. A user named Night Owl Photos was selling a vintage camera, claiming it captured unique perspectives. The price was a steal, the description intriguing. Maya, drawn by a sense of adventure and a touch of recklessness, contacted the seller. Night Owl Photos arranged a meeting at a secluded diner on the outskirts of town. A cloaked figure materialized from the shadows, their face obscured by darkness. They handed Maya a dusty camera with a tarnished brass lens. It felt inexplicably heavy in her hands. "Remember," the voice rasped, "the camera sees what the eyes cannot." With a shiver, Maya paid the seller and headed towards the abandoned park. The camera felt cold against her skin as she walked through the creaking gates, a sense of foreboding hanging heavy in the air. The camera lens seemed to distort reality. When she looked through the viewfinder, colors appeared faded, shadows stretched and danced grotesquely. As Maya clicked pictures, an unsettling feeling crept upon her. Each photo captured something else. Blurry figures lingered in the background, disembodied faces peering from behind broken windows. Panic surged through Maya as she reviewed the pictures later that night. They were unnerving, filled with ghostly apparitions that weren't present when she took them. Each image held a hidden story, a glimpse into a forgotten past. Sleep evaded her that night. Whispers echoed in her ears, phantom figures danced in the corner of her vision. The camera lay on her bedside table, a constant reminder of her folly. The next morning, Maya returned to the park, the camera clutched tightly in her hand. The hooded figure was waiting at the gate, their eyes gleaming with an unsettling hunger. Maya threw the camera to them, its weight lifting from her soul. The figure snatched up the camera and vanished into the shadows. Maya fled, the image of the ghostly figures forever etched in her memory. The adrenaline subsided, replaced by a lingering fear. The project, once a source of excitement, now felt tainted. The photos, a chilling testament to the camera's power and the unnerving truth it captured. Maya couldn't delete them, couldn't bring herself to destroy them. They were a reminder of her brush with the unseen, a cautionary tale against seeking out what shouldn't be found. Days turned into weeks, the incident slowly fading into an unsettling memory. Then, one evening, Maya noticed a strange anomaly in one of the photos. A blurred figure standing behind the Ferris wheel, its presence more solid than the others. Curiosity piqued, she zoomed in. The figure appeared vaguely familiar, its form shrouded in a faded red coat. A chilling realization struck her. It was the seller, Night Owl Photos. But he wasn't alone. A faint, ghostly figure flickered beside him, a figure with an all-too-familiar face, Maya's own grandmother, who had passed away a year ago. The revelation sent a jolt of terror through her. Had the camera captured her grandmother's restless spirit clinging to the seller? Was she trapped? Or was there a connection between Night Owl Photos and her grandmother's passing? Haunted by these questions, Maya decided to investigate. Discreet online research revealed nothing about the seller, no trace of Night Owl Photos on any platform. The diner where they met offered no leads, claiming the cloaked figure was a regular customer who paid in cash and kept to themselves. Feeling helpless but determined, Maya revisited the abandoned park. This time, she wasn't alone. She contacted a local paranormal investigator, a man named William, who specialized in the unexplained. William, a skeptic at heart, was intrigued by Maya's story and the disturbing photographs. Together, they explored the park. William used various tools, from electromagnetic field detectors to voice recorders, searching for any anomaly. The air crackled with an unsettling energy, but their readings remained inconclusive. However, as William examined the photos, his eyes widened in surprise. "These energy signatures are off the charts," he said, pointing at the figure behind the Ferris wheel. "It's anchored to the camera somehow." A horrifying possibility dawned on Maya. Was the camera a conduit between the living world and the spirit realm? Was Night Owl Photos using it to trap unsuspecting souls? The answer remained shrouded in darkness, but they knew they had to act. Armed with William's EMF disruptor and a renewed sense of purpose, Maya returned to the park alone. Her heart pounded in her chest as she stood before the Ferris wheel, the weight of the camera a burden in her hands. She activated the disruptor, a shrill hum filling the air. The shadows around her writhed in response. A guttural shriek echoed through the park, followed by a blinding flash of light. When the light subsided, the camera lay open on the ground, its lens shattered, a wisp of smoke curling from its broken frame. Relief washed over Maya, replaced by a profound sadness. Had she helped her grandmother find peace, or unleashed something worse? William, who arrived shortly after, confirmed there were no residual energy signatures. The camera, whatever its purpose, was inert. The abandoned park remained silent, a monument to forgotten memories and a chilling encounter with the unseen. Maya left the camera behind, a silent offering to the unknown. Though scarred by the experience, she carried a newfound respect for the boundaries between worlds, a reminder of the night she used a Craigslist purchase to glimpse the veil beyond. Story number 3. The pet sitter with a sinister secret, a Craigslist connection turns deadly. The frantic meows echoed through the empty apartment. Sarah, a recent college graduate strapped for cash, had landed a gig pet sitting a pair of Siamese cats for a wealthy businessman named Mr. Thorne. Craigslist, once again, had come to the rescue. Mr. Thorne, impeccably dressed and exuding an air of aloofness, meticulously outlined the care instructions for Cleo and Sebastian, his prized felines. They were pampered creatures, accustomed to gourmet food and a specific playtime schedule. Sarah, an animal lover, assured him she could handle it. As days turned into nights, Sarah settled into a comfortable routine. Cleo and Sebastian, with their piercing blue eyes and regal air, were surprisingly low maintenance. The only peculiarity was a hidden room Sarah discovered behind a heavy tapestry in the living room. Curiosity piqued, she tried to open the door, but it was firmly locked. One evening, returning from a grocery run, Sarah found the apartment door ajar. Panic surged through her as she cautiously entered. Cleo lay sprawled on the living room rug, a look of terror etched on her face. Sebastian was nowhere to be found. Frantic, Sarah searched the apartment. The locked room suddenly seemed sinister, a knot of unease twisting in her gut. Ignoring her fear, she grabbed a heavy book and smashed the lock. The room was dark and dusty, filled with an assortment of cages and strange contraptions. In the corner, Sarah found Sebastian, his fur matted and lifeless. A strangled cry escaped her lips as the horrifying truth dawned on her. Mr. Thorne wasn't just a businessman. He was a twisted animal collector. The gourmet food, the elaborate schedule, it was all a facade to keep his prey complacent. Fear turned to cold determination. Sarah knew she had to escape, but the front door was blocked. Glimmering in the dim light, she saw a hidden latch on the back door leading to a fire escape. With trembling hands, she opened it and fled into the night, Cleo nestled protectively in her arms. The following days were a blur of police reports, media attention, and a frantic search for Mr. Thorne, who had vanished without a trace. Sarah, hailed as a hero for exposing his cruelty, struggled to process the trauma. The image of Sebastian's lifeless form haunted her dreams. Weeks later, a chilling discovery rattled Sarah further. The investigation revealed Mr. Thorne had been a notorious black market animal dealer. The locked room contained evidence of exotic creatures, smuggled and tortured for profit. More disturbingly, a hidden compartment in the room held a collection of cameras, each containing footage of humans. Sarah recognized the opulent setting in one of the videos, Mr. Thorne's apartment. The camera was positioned in the corner, capturing people lured in by fake pet-sitting ads. The videos ended abruptly, leaving their fates a terrifying mystery. The revelation sent shivers down Sarah's spine. Craigslist, once her source of income, now represented a place of darkness. The memory of Cleo's terrified eyes served as a constant reminder of her brush with a monster masquerading as a pet owner. Sarah began campaigning for stricter regulations on online pet-sitting services. As months turned into years, she dedicated herself to animal rescue, offering a safe haven for the voiceless creatures who had suffered similar tragedies. The shadow of Mr. Thorne remained, a chilling reminder of the evil that lurked in the digital corners of the world. But Sarah, forever changed by her experience, refused to let fear paralyze her. Instead, she chose to shine a light, ensuring no innocent soul would become another victim on Craigslist's dark underbelly.